Happy holidays, guys. Happy holidays. Of course, it was Merry Christmas yesterday. It's Boxing Day today. And we are still in the mood of having fun. So, this is the fun edition of your favorite The Round Table. The last episode of the year 2024. What a ride it has been. I thank you guys for sticking with us all year, using your data to watch what we bring to you all year on this show. Thank you very much. It's another beautiful episode of The Round Table. My name is Shegun Odunwayo. As usual, we have two interesting guests with us. Returning after a long time off is Daniel Ayotoye. To my left is having his lovely glasses on this beautiful day, and to my right, okay, the cameras have panned towards him already. A regular, mostly here with his tie, but no ties today. It's holiday, so he's just on a polo. Exactly. Putting on the color red, and not patriotic enough. He's putting on a shirt with the American flag. He's Mr. Aliu. Adekunle Aliu. Yeah, he's here with us in the studios. Thank you very much for being a part of this.
It's a pleasure, viewers.
All right, very quickly, let's go into the meat of the program. Of course, we all know we are in a celebration mood, but how well has this mood been received by Nigerians? I'm not talking about those who are in Lagos for Dirty December. We are capturing the entire mood of the country at this point in time. How have Nigerians been able to celebrate and have fun with their loved ones? Of course, our people, our reporters were on the streets, not just here in Lagos, like I said earlier, everywhere, asking questions, asking traders, how well are your goods moving? Are people coming in to buy? How much were they selling stuff like this last year? How is inflation affecting you? And it's so sad that the stories that came out of that report was terrible. Many persons are saying that people are not coming in their large numbers like it used to be, to buy this, to buy that. Prices of chicken and pepper, everything has almost doubled. And this Christmas is an unusual one for many Nigerian families. I guess that was one of the reasons why many persons were even, in quote, hustling for freebies. That has led to stampede in about three confirmed states. One in the north, one in the east, one in the south. Equally distributed misfortune. So sad. Maybe I'll be starting with Daniel and also
Equally distributed misfortune.
Look at what is happening. Marketers complaining. It's like it's a Christmas of complaints for many persons.
It's so sad. Like you just said, it's evenly distributed fortune, or misfortune, or what should we call it? We never expected that we would, of course, find ourselves in this situation, but here we are with the issues that is at hand. But I also know that surely that it will not be that kind of festive season that we usually have, where a lot of people will be having so much fun with a lot of resources. Even the president himself has said it some time ago that there won't be free beer in the beer parlors. And if you know, of course, there won't be free beers in the beer parlors, you know, definitely that means a lot of people will be going out there to beg for it before they will get it. So it's really painful. What is more painful is the aspect of the stampede that had to occur. We know that these things had to happen because of the poverty that is out there. People are hungry and angry. I said here some time ago that the situation out there is worse than what we used to have before. And we still keep seeing some set of people that will still keep gallivanting and saying, yes, they are enjoying it. And that is one thing that is always happening with the situation. As we are still speaking, we still know that there are some people who don't really know that somebody is out there that has not been able to take 1 square meal for a day. We still have people out there. Some people will still say, oh no, it's not as bad as it seems. Yes, because you are enjoying yourself, you are eating well, you are getting your 3 square meal per day. You never would even say that there's anybody suffering there. But you can see from the stampede how somebody would go and hustle children from somewhere that they are not our children, will take them to somewhere just to get freebies. It's something that is happening for real. Just to get rice, get 5,000
using other people's children.
Using other people's children.
It has always been.
Throw them, betraying them from the fence, throwing them into the compound. For
Wow.
another person to, all these kind of things that is not supposed to be happening. But it's happening because of hunger and the Nigerian nature. Some people are also out there that they are sick upstairs. They are sick. Because I can't imagine, no matter how hungry you are, then you allow somebody to take your child to
throw it into the
For
fence
such-
for what purpose?
But
But again, it is a
and it's
commitment.
because of the same poverty. It's because of the same.
I mean, if you are rich and you have enough
so,
in your house,
if I have 3 bags of rice
so
at home,
can I because I don't ascribe to the fact that it's because of hunger.
Okay,
I
but-
think it's because either we are too greedy or we don't understand how like things work. Because see, in the scheme of things in the world, are we the poorest? Are we the worst off?
Without a
So
doubt.
why are we not that organized for even the things we want to give to ourselves?
no.
So we lack organization. We lack control. We lack to doing the right thing at the appropriate time. We like it when it comes to.
Have you been hungry before?
Have you been to the Republic of Benin
Have you
before?
been hungry?
Are we worse than those in the Republic of
The
Benin?
reality
No,
is
we are
that
not worse than those in other countries.
Do you
So the
understand
thing is
what's
that
happening?
we
I-
don't have a light. We do things in darkness.
If you
We
have-
forgot that
if you have
order.
been-
If we order ourselves, somebody wants to share palliative for you, and you go there, even with the 19 children, and you order yourself in collecting it, you will get it.
And go home.
So, but when you don't go in order, you don't go with sense, you go with stupidity, you're going to ruin it. That's what has caused this problem. Because people don't think right. We are not the worst of. Nigeria is not the worst country off in all this issue. We have other countries that are worse, but they are well organized. Have you been to Cotonou to drive on the Okada? You see how neat they drive on the Okada, how they obey traffic rules. Come to Nigeria, you see, if not for the force of the governors of Lagos State that is making things like look, come to order. These guys are not ready to obey traffic rules.
Now, let me
They
so
jump
say-
traffic.
let-
Is it,
I think
hold on.
we
Is
should
it the
align.
same hunger? Is it the same poverty? No. It's because they just don't want to follow precept. Follow the law.
Follow which
You have to follow it, no
I
matter
think we
your
should just- I
hunger.
think we
You
should
have to
align-
follow
align.
it. See, somebody in UK, what was that footballer, opened the shop for people to come and take freebies for Christmas.
Alex
Orderly.
Iwobi.
So what's the problem now?
Orderly.
Why can't we do things?
Are
Are
you-
you the worst off? You're not the worst off.
Hold on.
Some of these
People,
people-
these same,
I
these
think-
same
yeah.
people that went there,
Yeah.
and they are orderly.
Yeah.
If they get to this same situation, this same location, they may not be orderly. It has to be the structure that the organizers put in place. That they follow.
So okay,
The
okay.
reality is-
Let's take the
reality
Abuja.
is,
Let,
even when
I-
people are hungry,
Okay.
even when people are hungry, if you that organize it put down a structure, you can't imagine.
so that's what I'm saying.
This
So
organization, this
in
organization
all
part
the
is-
in all the
Hold
things
on,
we
I'm
do,
coming.
organizing
I'm coming.
appropriately,
This organization
orderliness.
also did something similar recently
Yeah.
by giving people
Yes, yeah.
Palliatives and so on, yeah.
at Ibafo.
Yeah.
And we understand how the structure was, how it was organized.
Organized properly.
Ibafo is one of the areas you will know that yes, there are people there that need a lot of support. And if you want stampede, stampede can also happen there.
So?
It has to do with the way they organize it. See, listen, first thing first,
Yeah.
hunger and suffering was one of the things that led to that situation. That's one. Secondly, the organizers did not put in the proper structure how that program is supposed to be
going to be
organized.
run.
You organized for 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And more than such people came out. Yes, even having done that, what is the security measures that you put on ground? I attended a program recently, which of course I was one of the organizers in terms of palliative distribution and all that. And we had a structure where we said, yes, military personnel. We didn't say police. Military personnel. We informed the police, yes, but we put down military personnel.
So
someone-
must we at all time have such things? Can't we by
Yes,
ourselves
we
be
must.
order? We want
the
the
Nigerian
see.
system.
Oh.
The Nigerian system requires that such structures must be in place.
So I am saying we need
Okay,
to go back
I
and
think-
reorientate ourselves when we are doing
I
these things.
think-
Let's do it with human
You think
faith.
everybody
Let's do it with
has
feeling.
to be- if they
Somebody
see- if they
can I
see-
somebody who
I-
took 19 kids to throw them off the what is in his psychology? What's happening in the head?
Yes.
I think
Some of these people have these things at home. They have amala. They have other food. All they wanted is rice.
The
Inflation.
topic is the fact that it has not been a Merry Christmas for many families. I was just saying there was a possibility that we can link the inflation and the situation of the country to people not having a Merry Christmas, and then finally to the top, which was the stampede situation. But somehow, perhaps because the stampede
it's-
situation
No.
is still
On the economic
in the
situation,
air.
we know for
Okay,
sure that
yeah.
we are trying to restructure. We are trying to better our present and our future. So we are going to go through a lot of pain. But again, I asked somebody yesterday, I said, look, has there ever been a time where...
The cheapest bag of rice...
Has there ever been a time whereby we don't have increases in prices of, or one complaint about Christmas? Go and check 10 years ago. I remember, people were still complaining. Check 15 years ago. People were complaining. Every Christmas, it has never been as rosy as it has been, because we have always have incessant increase in fuel price, which is running our economy. So now what we're saying is, look, okay, let's have alternative means of transportation. Let's have alternative means of fueling our cars and our buses and other things, so that we can come to a fair ground. The president has taken the bull by the horn by saying, okay, no more subsidies. So we are trying to rearrange. So it's going to bite harder to get better. We are going to feel it.
I think I would beg to disagree.
Okay. It's going to bite harder to get better.
Let's not
before you come in. So that is why we are in this situation. A bag of
rice is 76,800.
Sorry, I beg to disagree with you. A bag of rice that is Nigerian grown is 110,000 naira. Okay. Red Bull, I'm sorry to mention that name because of advert. See, it's 120,000.
That's why I said the cheapest. I said the cheapest.
For Nigerian made rice, not Nigerian grown rice, is not even cheap.
Yes. That's, you know, we are going also to come to this.
But because
the cheapest bag of today, the 26th of December 2024, is 76,800 naira.
And those rice might have been the one that has been in the silos for 10 years in one country, and they brought it to you to buy.
A basket of pepper, the cheapest, according to market realities, is 58,000 naira. This 200% confirmation on them, and so on and so forth.
Chicken,
the cheapest chicken this year, the cheapest is 15k.
Transport fare.
15,000 naira. Now, the one I saw that was the cheapest was 10,000. But that was just one place. In other places, the cheapest you get is 15,000 naira. Now, the reason why we are bringing all this is because we know what minimum wage is. The government, the federal government of Nigeria, as of today, has not started paying minimum wage. People that work with this government, up until this December salary, have said it has not been, it has not affected them yet. Yet, the prices of goods and other things have increased. So, we are seeing why many people are not having a Merry Christmas. For many people, it's just Merry Christmas based on what they were saying, not necessarily in their pockets. So, the question now is, it has happened this year again. Is there a possibility that when people are doing Merry Christmas 2025 now, are we not going to say, we thank God for last year? Because 2014, like he said, people were saying this one is bad, 2010 was better. In 2010, people were saying, this one is strong, 2007 was better. And on, and in fact, it looks like it's getting worse per day.
If we are going to shift from that narrative, like I said the other time, and I said I beg to differ with what he has said, we need to just have to now increase the earning power of the common man. You know, it's very important. At the end of the day, from what you have analyzed now, from what we have seen, it appears that the whole increase in minimum wage is even
very ineffective.
It's not ineffective.
What's political?
Yes, I'm not saying political, because at the end of the day it will be implemented. But I'm saying that it's ineffective because even when it becomes they actualize it and begin to implement it, it can't meet
the reality
we have on ground again, and that is where the concern is. And the reality again is that by 2025 December, you will still continue to see this complaint if the earning power of the common man is not increased. And that is why we are begging the government, and we are begging every person involved in this, because it's not only the government, and like I always say, it's not all about the government per se, but it has to also do with the people themselves, because you can imagine that we don't even have control in pricing. So everybody, whatsoever ways they desire to sell their product, that's what they will sell. Recently, I went somewhere. I was going somewhere and I wanted to get a nose cover, and I went to a trader and I said, I need this nose cover. How much is it? And the trader told me the nose cover is 200. And
nose cover?
Yeah. He said this other one is 100. The black is 200. The white one is blue. It's 100. And I said, why the difference? He said it's different. I said, no, this is wrong. And I went to the person that is, I think the third or fourth shop.
And you got it at a cheaper rate.
At the cheaper rate, 100 naira. I was forced to come back to that woman.
So
this woman.
That is what brings me to the word that we are greedy. Greediness in us is what sometimes cause these troubles that we have. It is not about the society. I think a lot of us have missed it. We put prices, we do things out of greed, not out of passion for humanity, for ourselves. That look, okay, what's the fair price for me to add to this? Just go there and tell you, you want to buy meat, a meat of 2,000, I tell you 7,000. And it's color, and you won't look at your face, 7,000. And you say, I know 5. You say, no. And you know for sure that, look, it's not the president.
I mean, I'm saying they will say.
So what is the level? I think we really need to organize ourselves appropriately. Tell ourselves the truth that, look, we want to grow as a nation. So this attitude of greed and price gouging will not work.
So what can we really do about price control?
The president has started the process now. When we begin to get mechanized farming, large supplies, large quantity of this produce coming in, maybe, if our greed, because most of the time what kills policies is greed. People will frustrate government policies because they want to make money out of it, and when they do that, they benefit, and it's just for the few, not the general.
The fact that we cannot even get price control for fuel, we make it difficult for you to get price control for Gary.
So this is the thing. This is the thing. Now the government is saying alternative source of energy, alternative means of transport. So we can create. So you look at what is the gain, what is the profit that I want to make from this? Do I want to make that profit that will kill the other neighbor? Who is going to buy for you if the person is dead? Who is going to buy? Where are you going to sell to if that person can't survive it? So, the more you sell, I tell people, the more you sell, the more money you make. It's not about the few you sell. Go and check some of those selling bananas and tomatoes. A lot of them lose this produce because what they want to sell one small thing at a very high price, and in the long run, you see wastage. But whereas look at somebody who is so small, okay, the turnover is what is going to make you make more profit. So let's follow this president's policies, tax reform. If it's coming in, if they allow it to operate well, the energy, okay, you can't afford fuel, please do gas.
But one thing I will also say about some of these reforms is that we don't let us just copy blindly. Don't let us just. I will
copy because I want to ask one question.
Yes, from IMF, from anywhere.
See,
coming from,
we have to try some of these things before. We have to. If we don't try these policies, we don't know where we're going to.
Yeah. Before we quickly move on to the next topic.
We don't just copy things blindly. We don't say because IMF and whatever give us one advice, we just go ahead and start implementing. There must be a way to check if these policies are implementable in Nigeria. If you are bringing up tax, recently I heard that a particular state is increasing the tax for teachers and all that, and I'm saying that yes, the minimum wage you have not started implementing, and even when you start implementing it, looking at the task, the kind of variance, of the tax that you are bringing in, what will be the effect on the people? At the end of the day, you would have cut out what their earnings is supposed to be, and become another thing. So don't just bring out policy.
So let's even tax ourselves. Let's tax ourselves, but let's produce. Let's give the people what they want.
What is the earning power?
See, me and you, the way we talk, we cannot live in UK because we pay a lot of tax.
I think it's time for us.
So if you can't live in UK, if you can't live in UK, so you will pay tax and live your life. So we need to do
because it is similar. It is similar
better for us.
It is similar to this. Now, very quickly, we move on to the next topic. And on Monday, the president had his first presidential media chat. For those who are old enough, I mean, you remember during the Obasanjo years, there was the president explains. The president explains. That was very big then on radio. You know, people call from wherever. Mohammed calling from Kafanshan, and the president to speak to you directly and all that. So over time, we've had a lot of other things like that. The president coming on, but this is the first time that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be having a chat, not with the entire country, but with select members of the press, 7 of them in total, throwing questions at him. And one thing that he said stood out. I think I'll be starting with you now.
Yeah.
He said he doesn't regret
removing
subsidy.
It shouldn't.
This was the major point because he said a whole lot of other things. But looking at how the poverty line has increased, looking at the millions of Nigerians that policy has kicked into poverty, looking at the millions of Nigerians that policy has kicked into hunger, looking at the millions of Nigerians that have a negative life as a result of that policy. The simple statement, fuel subsidy is gone. Made fuel immediately scarce, even when there was subsidy for that month. Do you think the president did not make a mistake looking at that policy now?
I don't think he made a mistake. Because if you look at it very well, from the days of Obasanjo, there have been movements towards this deregulation. Every government, they've been increasing it little by little, little by little. They want to achieve it with a systemic way. But it's quite unfortunate that, look, all the things they needed to do then, they couldn't do. And this man came and said, okay, I don't want to work with this star. I want to just take it off. Let it be once and for all gone, so we know it's gone. Other things come into being. And you will see it from other things coming into being. Refineries are growing. If you have not taken the subsidy off, how would Dangote refinery come into full flotation? You will see that it's already it's a systemic government plan that has been put in place. So you shouldn't regret. It's what we want as a nation. We felt the pain so much that we are all complaining. Everybody during the campaign they were saying nobody is going to produce subsidy. Sometimes we even said we subsidizing who. We didn't believe there was subsidy. Some of us don't believe. Some people said no, there was no subsidy. That it was this, was that.
It would be that high. So if there was subsidy, it shouldn't be that high.
So now that the man said,
we didn't know it was not
at
high.
least now we can believe that, look, there is no more subsidy because we can see the effect on us. So, and I don't think as a leader he would not regret because he has taken the bull by the horn.
He won't regret. All right, very quickly, do you think deep down in his heart, not what he told us on TV, deep down in his heart, he will not, when his men come to tell him that, President, this is the update to, this is this, this is that, do you think he will not wish, couldn't we have done it in a better form?
Even the scripture, the Holy Bible said that one that has put his hand on a plow
should not look back.
Keep going. Because
not fit for the kingdom of God.
Keep going.
That's the reality. So I believe that the president had to just make that
statement,
factual statement, to make Nigerians
that
know
have put
that
a lot of people behind the poverty line.
We can't go back on this. I just want the people to know that we have already done it. We can't go back on it, and this is it. We all knew that there were some loopholes, there were some issues when he made that statement, and I believe that he also made that statement politically, because we are aware that the subsidy had already gone even during
we had that month
regime, because there was no provision for it in the budget.
So
he only uttered it based on what he knows that they have already removed it. But again, the statement had to come and all that, and I don't think there is any need for regret now. We are already in it. Every one of us, we are in it, and I believe that I believe strongly that the President Bola Tinubu, is making some efforts. And we have seen that some policies and some ways trying to put these things together that is heading towards a point. But what I want to also appeal, I will also be appealing to him, is that Nigerians are suffering. We just have to do what is very necessary at this critical point in time to ensure that the suffering that we have now is not wasted. Not that years from now we begin to hear that, some people have
sabotage even from the removal of first subsidy.
Yes, so they won't tell us from the removal of subsidy, some people have stolen trillions of naira. Some people will begin to hear on the pages of the papers again. We don't want this suffering that we're undergoing. We are all bearing it. I'm bearing it to my family alongside you and every one of us. And we don't want that situation.
It looks like we are even the ones bearing it the most.
Go to waste. Don't let it go to waste. Shouldn't be.
All right. A lot of things he said. At some point, he challenged the journalists that were there on Monday and said, which of my ministers are not performing? They say the ministers are not performing. Which one of them? No names can be mentioned. Can you mention one or two?
And the thing is that what is the criteria that he has given to them? He can, if you ask us now, why did he rejig his cabinet?
We don't know
why did he rejig his cabinet if some of them were not performing. Some of them we know for sure that look, some of them will not meet his onion. Some of them will not be able to meet the standard he has set, and he's left in his court. So
he's the only one that can mark their script.
He's the only one that can mark their script. He knows what he has given them. He knows the mandate he has given them. He knows what he wants. But we won't be able to do that, because what we want to see is changes. Every institution, every minister is handling one institution or the other should make sure that institution is working.
Okay,
let's get there. Let's have relief from all the policies that the government want to give to the people. Let's see them work. Let's see people enjoy it, because we only have, at least if you ask me, I say 6 months. After that 6 months from now on, people will begin to make up their mind what's going to happen in 2027. And if they are not seeing hope, all right, catch fire.
It's true. The president is the only one because he's their boss. It's only your boss that can say, for this year you have passed or you have failed. So the people that can grade the ministers, the person that can grade the ministers is the president. But the people that will grade the president are Nigerians. And since we didn't give them directly employ the ministers, somehow we are the major ones that did employ these ministers. So is there a way you think some of these ministers don't deserve their seat anymore because they are not, they are not doing enough to the Nigerian people? They are not giving enough.
I think I would beg to differ.
Okay.
I don't think the president alone is the only one that can really assess
them. Okay.
Ministers. The president is sitting at the point where he's a bit far from even these ministers. The realities. He's very, very big far. Now, why am I saying this? The minister is heading a ministry. That ministry has permanent secretaries, as directors, and various workers, civil servants in that ministry. These persons also have says. They also have a say to how well did this minister perform compared to the previous minister. Because the activities within the ministry, the level of implementation of some policies, and how they were able to take these policies to change the life of the common man, will determine to a very great extent how the people, even within that ministry, will be able to assess them. Then also, if, for instance, the Ministry of Education, we are going to tell you, even within this education sector, how many of these schools were being transformed under your ministry, how many of the schools we have issues and you were able to resolve this issue under your ministry. You're talking about that of power. How well is our electricity? It's not Tinubu that is in Aso Rock and has 24 hours power supply. That will be able to assess that. That will be able to talk about the Nigerians that are using their services. They'll be able to assess that. So I think to a very great extent, Nigerians will be able to say, this person functioned well, this person did well, this person did not do well. But again, we can see that the president has also rejected the cabinet. And that I know for sure is based on the feedback that he received from Nigerians. And if he has received this feedback and he has been able to do some certain, we should also look at how well these ones that are there are doing. And they also should also watch their back, the ministers, they should also watch their back and ensure that they are working well. Then the other aspect I will also mention is the aspect where the president knows how much he has allocated to the ministries for that ministry to be effective enough. Because that is another thing. How well are they allocating funds to that ministry? What are some of the policies that ministry is supposed to implement? What are some of the tasks that is given to them that they are supposed to implement? Now, if there is no enough fund for that ministry to be effective in that directive, be sure that ministry is dead. It's as good as dead. Because aside from the fact that we will have to now begin to seek for a public-private partnership and all that, then there will be an issue, but they also need fund and those allocations. So that is also important. So whatsoever thing that we are going to do as far as these ministries is concerned, we must ensure that they have the right allocation, they have the right fund to operate, and also the people that are heading such ministries are not just appointed based on political sake.
So on that ground, when you say so you know that there are reasons, there are different reasons for appointing ministers. So when there are different reasons for appointing ministers, you know that this reason is not subject to the people at all. It is subject to him as the minister to determine why you're there. Are you going to do the bidding for the second term, or you want to do the bidding for the people?
So there are some ministers that are there for second term reasons.
Bros, you should know there are reasons. Politically motivated and people. There are reasons for appointing ministers. It's not just for everybody's work. There are some ministers you are going to work for the next work. So if you're not there for the next work, we would kick you out. So some people are asked to go down. They are not important. That's why you can't give me the next election. Those who are going to give us the next election, please come and let's play the game now, because we are preparing for it. So as much as the people have a say, but they don't call the shot. Remember when we were crying that Buhari should sack the chief of army staff and others, the chief security officers. How long did it take before he listened to the people? It took time. People were saying they were ineffective. He didn't listen because you know why he put them there. He's the one that is getting report from them directly, so he can decide what he wants to do with them. So for now, as much as the people have a say, but the final ball stops on the president table. If he's satisfied with what they are doing for his calling, for his bidding, we can't ask him to pull them out. People have been complaining and saying the man is appointing so many Yoruba people more than.
Okay.
Is it not those you trust that he will
appoint? It's time for us to go on to the next topic, which unfortunately is very, very sad. It's sad because this is not the first time this has been happening. it has been happening for a very long time now, where our security forces, in the bid of them cleansing the society by chasing out terrorists, they kill innocent people. In Sokoto State, Lament local government, 2 communities were hit when the Nigerian Airforce struck, chasing the Lakurawas, the new terrorist group that has just come upon Nigeria this year, 2024. And 2 communities, like I said, in Silawe local government were attacked. And you know, the funny thing about institutions like this is only God knows what the true state of casualty will be, because I mean, figures will keep flying, but these are people's dads, these are people's mothers, these are people's children. They will never see them again. These are individuals that some persons hold dearly. Here we go again.
I think it's really unfortunate why we having such situation. But again, you know, there are a lot of issues surrounding when it happens like that. I don't think that we should be having to target it a kind of a mistake. You know, when you say this is a mistake, like somebody will say it happened by mistake. You know? We can't toy with people's life, innocent people's life. We must be accountable to the people. We must be accountable to the nation. Because if we are now killing ourselves, all because of one mistake or the other, we are chasing Lakurawas, we are chasing. That's the military. They are doing fine. They are doing great job and all that. But again, we can't afford this situation in our hands. So, and I think I want to appeal to the authorities to please do the needful. Let's not have a repeat of this, and those that have been affected should be well compensated.
At least 10 persons have said to have died in these places, with several persons injured. Like I said earlier, in Gidansama, exactly.
It's unfortunate. I will call it collateral damage. As much as we sympathize, with those who have.
This will not be the last, though.
It's collateral damage. It's collateral.
Many
damage.
times
it's collateral damage. It's collateral damage.
The person covering defense for us, for our medium here, has written several times about this. I've read about such incidents, at least this year, 2024, about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
2024
so we now ask, what is the reason for this? Why is it happening? Is it error on the part of the institution that is supposed to do this good job, or that the terrorists are using some of these villagers as human shields?
The security officers come out to apologize. Every time they apologize.
When the military will speak, the military could say, is because they are using this human as human shield. So we don't know. As much we don't like it to happen. We don't want to lose Nigerians for good Nigerians for evil. No, it's wrong. The military need to look into how they do this work. But again, will it happen? I can guarantee it to happen again.
It will.
I can, because the way these terrorists operate, if the military has mapped out and said, okay, this is where we want to attack, this is where the terrorists are staying. But also know that the terrorists too, if that's their domain, we have children, we have women, we have all other things there operating with them.
And some of these terrorists also have families that are also living within the community.
So,
and again, and I think that is where we need our intelligence
to be tight,
very strong.
Reports have it that these 2 villages are close to the domain, the home of Lakurawa.
That's what we are saying. You know, I remember very well that there was a time we were talking about the fact that the community accepted them to
stay with them, and so
Lakurawa has been in Nigeria for years. I think about 7 years now. But they are just coming to the limelight.
The intelligence, we have intelligence. I know that for sure. Nigeria, we have intelligence. If we want this thing to work out, we can allow it. If there's no political undertone within all some of these things,
they will be gone.
There will be. I know how we are, the kind of jobs that have been handled in the past. We are strong criminals, we are taking down and all that. So, but I think we need to also ensure that intelligence function well without any political interference. If we allow it, they won't be having such situation. If Lakurawas, Lakurawas, or whatever they are called, they find themselves within the community, we should have intelligence that will fish them out before you shoot any missile or anything into any community. You must fish them out. And if you can't fish, you should be able. And that's why the intelligence is there.
So because it's an area strike now. we could say they should do their job perfectly so that it should be error removed. This kind of error should not be recorded with them because it's happening too often.
Yes.
Remember, we have had one in Kaduna.
Yes.
We also had one in
yes.
So
this year we've had
it's like they are doing it. Maybe I don't know. I want to say is out of malice for the president or out of malice for their own people because we are killing our own people, our own good people. We shouldn't be doing that. But again, the military have said no. They did their work appropriately well.
At first, it was denied. A spokesperson of the president denied it at first.
Yeah.
Then he came back to say
when they now
apologize
because they now have enough information, and that was because the governor was also there. The governor went there himself to do his own observation and was there to bury the victims. But this is what I'm saying: we should do these things perfectly. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the security situation and what went wrong and how come these people are they used as human shield. What's the problem? How could they miss it?
We know Sambisa Forest is very popular now because it is synonymous to Boko Haram, while Surame Forest is synonymous to Lakurawa. Everybody, I think almost everybody knows about Sambisa. In fact, it's like
Sambisa
it's very popular now.
The most popular forest in Nigeria now.
Exactly. Now that's their base. Surame is their base.
So my question now is, can't we evacuate those that are innocent?
In Surame. Can't the Nigerian security?
So this is the thing. If you're going to be evacuating, as we're evacuating, you should know that also the terrorist people will have their mole within the people. So it's neither here nor there. You have the government has to be smart in doing it. And when this thing happen, and like you said, they should be compensated and well compensated. But again, is it life and money? Is it compensation and life? Which one is stronger? Life is far better. These are innocent lives. We think they are innocent lives. So maybe when they do more investigation,
they are.
We will say they are
villagers.
We would say they are. We would say they are. But if the military comes out again with its own report and say something different, what would we say?
Have you watched?
Then who do we listen
movies
to?
That has to do with terrorists and all that. When you expect that this small boy is innocent.
Yeah.
And when you before you know, you just
discover that
gun, boom, just shoots you. You know, such situation. And I think we also have to. That's why I said intelligence.
It has to be
very important. It has to be tight. Nigerian intelligence of the military, the DSS. Everybody have to come together to fight this particular problem of insecurity in this country. If not, we cannot get
still talking about insecurity. Our own troops, Nigerian security agents, were bombed by Boko Haram in Borno. Different reports. Now, official reports coming from the military has it that only a couple of officers were injured, but the terrorists have come out to say that they indeed killed several of our forces, several of our members of our security forces. And then one thinks that, we thought this thing was done in Borno. The governor of Borno was in television during the tax reform period, and he was asked questions about insurgency and all that, and his answers were quite convincing. One would assume that this was a thing of the past, but it looks like we are still battling with it. We will
be battling with it for a long time. It's not something you can take out easily. So until the government can take away the hunger, I put it in quotes, that you are crying about, the hope, bring back the hope of that Nigeria, the hope, the strength. If not, we will fight this thing to a long time. Now, why am I saying this? Is that you need to give people hope that, look, this country is for you. Now, as this country is for you, you can also be better in this country. So you need to fight for your country. It is the individual that will fight for his country. We are doing these military fights because most of the individuals are not fighting. If the individuals are fighting for their country, they would have reported, they would have shown the government light that, look, we have issues here. These people are not Nigerians. So if you know that you love your country, you are patriotic enough for your country, you would have make complaints to the government. So it won't get to this level. But because a lot of us are not patriotic enough, we don't do the report. So we have issues.
We can go on and on and on and never stop because we never exhaust all the topics that affect Nigerians on this show. But that is what we do on the roundtable. We pick 3 interesting topics because we have to put a number to it. We can't go on and on. We have a time frame and examine these topics and bring the truth to you, Nigerian people, and we deliberate. We'll be here next week, God willing. It will be the first edition of the roundtable for the year 2025. A very big thank you once again to our guests. that have always been with us, Mr. Adekunle Aliu, Mr. Dali and
We
Yotwe.
can say goodbye to 2024.
Yeah, goodbye to 2024.
To the year.
Is the last one.
Somebody said the Baptista year.
And God will be here next week, which is obviously next year, to start again. We do pray that for Nigerians, especially for many of us who have endured a year of economic hardship, where prices of things have increased like double, school fees for parents paying school fees, house rent, and a lot of other things have been extremely expensive. We pray that the year 2025 is a year of succor and a blessed year for us all. Stay out of trouble, guys.
Please stay safe. Stay
New
safe.
year,
Stay safe.
next year is next week. Enjoy carefully. Don't overdo. Stay out of trouble.
Please.
My name is Shegun Dwyer. Have yourselves a lovely, lovely weekend. Bye.